lack of student awareness on current events.
Did you know that 2 American hikers were recently let go from the Iranian government after being in prison for 2 years? Did you know about the deadly protests that happened in Yemen this Tuesday? Did you know why President Obama met with the Prime Minister of Palestine this week at the UN? As a student, do you find it difficult to keep up with current events? As a student, I have a hard time staying up with the news. Although students at the College of Worcester want to have academic discussions about the community and international issues going on in the world, many of us lack an awareness about current events and would benefit from having more relevant resources on campus to access news. So today, I will discuss why our lack of awareness is a problem on campus. And I will introduce solutions that we can take to begin increasing our own awareness on the news. So what's the problem? As students, we find it difficult to balance our academics with our understanding of current events in the world. Although we want to learn about these events, we often put looking at the news at the bottom of our priority list. In a September 23rd survey I conducted, 15 out of 22 students explained that they would like to have more time in class that they could discuss news. I was recently, the other day, I was talking to one of my friends from India, and she told me that early in September in New Delhi there was a bombing near her hometown, and I did not know about this. These are things that I, as a student, would like to know about, but can't because I'm so busy with all of my other commitments. Another problem is that students lack relevant, non-electronic resources to view news. Sure, we all have the internet, but when's the last time you checked the internet not to research the Grammys or go on Facebook or Twitter? Let's be honest. In a recent survey that I conducted, 15% of students did not know where the newspapers were located in the library. So what's the big deal? Many students feel isolated without knowing what's going on in the news. In an April interview with Kapaya, a junior, who created the Worcester Voice webpage, he explained that not knowing about current events is a problem because, and I quote, "We are living in an ivory tower. You can go to a lot of classes and learn theories, but it does not prepare you to live with people and get a job in the real world." Another reason it's a big deal is because by staying in the now, we're connected with the rest of the world. We can break out of our Worcester bubble and engage with the rest of the world. So, what are the solutions to this problem? Well, first of all, we can make use of our existing venues. We could provide newspapers in Old Main and Lowry Dining Hall for students to access for no cost at all. We could have the CNN or BBC broadcasted in the Lowry Pit area, where they're currently showing images of the Worcester Stadium. And we could also promote the Worcester 91 radio station, where I believe they have a station that talks about current events. So you may be asking, will these solutions cost a lot of money? Well, for the WAC to provide students with about 12 newspapers a day, it would only cost 30 cents for each newspaper. And this is something that students would use. 50% of the students that I interviewed said that they would read newspapers if they were provided in Lowry. You may also be saying that we already have resources on campus. For instance, there are resources in the library and the bookstore to access news. However, in the research that I did, I learned that many students are not aware of where these resources are. And many are not willing to pay $30 to subscribe to the New York Times. With these changes, you could walk into Lowry to the informative voice of the BBC News talking about the current conflict between Israelites and Palestinians. You could munch on your Captain Crunch in Lowry Dining Hall, while flipping through the headlines of the New York Times. You could listen to your fellow classmates on Wu 91 discussing the conflict in Libya while sipping on a caramel macchiato. So, the problem is that students at the College of Worcester find it difficult to balance their academics with their desire to learn about the news. But by implementing these simple changes, we can increase student awareness in the long term and the short term. By increasing students' awareness on these current events, we will create more responsible leaders, voters, and politicians.